Oh, it's Rick Taylor.
Yo, what's going on, man? It's your boy Rick Taylor from Rick Taylor Entertainment. I'm back with another episode of the Rap Draft, man. I'm here with a special guest today, man. The one and only, man, JR Scalez. What's going on with you, man?
What's going on, brother? It's a pleasure to be here, man. I'm happy to be present. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to leave you hanging.
You good.
But I'm happy to be present, man. I rock with this platform, you know what I mean, from day one, from the first time, you know what I mean, you approached me and we exchanged numbers. This was years ago. And you was telling me what you was doing and what you was trying to do, and I just seen it grow, bro. And I'm proud of you, and I'm just happy to be here, my G. That's it.
Man, I appreciate that, bro. And the same for you, man, with your platform and stuff like that, man. It's been a minute, you know what I'm saying? I be just want to let time go past before interviewing certain people, and people still got stuff going on. Everything's God timing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So, you know, this your first time on the platform. We like to interview artists and people who in the music industry or around that area and ask them about their background and their experience and stuff like that. But I want to start it off with, man, how are you, bro?
Man.
Actually,
the fact that I'm sitting here smiling and reacting to that, if you'd have asked me that probably about 3, 4, maybe months ago,
man,
I'd have been a different reaction. But right now I feel good. And I guess it really comes down to, like you said, time heals all wounds and gives clarity to a lot of things. And then on top of that, I handle my business. So when you handle your business correctly, problems are going to happen. And I guess that's why you put lawyers and contracts in place to make sure when these things happen, you can land on your feet and you be okay. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. We're gonna touch on all that, you know what I'm saying? Because I know it's been crazy with that situation and everything. I want to start it off also. I want to tap into your background, man. Like, what was your childhood like growing up?
Man, it's crazy. I get the last probably like interview I did, they was asking me that, and I be trying not to like gloat about it, but I can't help it. It's me. So if you Google my name, because a lot of people when they Google my name, Harvey Scalez, my dad comes up. And the reason he comes up is because he wrote the first song to ever be certified platinum in music history. That's not me capping. It's a fact. You can Google it. Google is your friend, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can Google it. It's right there. It was Disco Lady for Johnny Taylor in 1976. There were songs that sold millions of copies before, but they never had a category for it. The first record that the recording industry gave the credit to was that record. So that's how I kind of grew up. And growing up, man, I'm originally from Richmond, California, which is a suburb of Oakland, California. I'm the youngest of 13 kids. Like I said, my dad was famous my entire life. Childhood growing up, I didn't understand why people fanned out over him until I was an adult and I got older, you know, because I grew up in rap. And my dad did R&B and blues, you know what I mean? So that was kind of above my pay grade at that time. But as I got older, I got to understand that achievement that he had with Disco Lady is what really made him monumental. You know what I mean? He was a dope artist, signed to Chess Records. You ever seen the movie Cadillac Records? Yeah. He was signed to Dude. He was with Stax Records, Isaac Hayes and DeBark Hayes and Jazzy Faye's father. I met him, you know what I'm saying? And his dad when I went to the Stax reunion with my dad a couple years back before he passed. So just experiences, bro. I've met Ronald Isley, MC Hammer, TLC. I mean, bro, you name it. The list goes on and on and on. I went and got an envelope, short story, one time out the mailbox for my dad, 24th and Hampton, my grandmother's house. And it had the Rockefeller logo on it. Now, you got to remember, this is Rockefeller Dipset era. You know how fanned out we was about that. So for me to see this manila folder with this logo on there, Def Jam Rockefeller logo on there, I'm like, yo, I run upstairs, take it to my pops. He like, yo, what's that? I'm like, I think they asking for clearance for a sample or something. He pull it out. He like, Kanye West, who? Kanye West and the Beanie Siegel. What is this? I snatch it from him. I'm like, man, Pops, that's Kanye West, Beanie Siegel. They trying to sample your record. So long story short, Pops wrote a record for the Spinners called Mom's Praying. And on Beanie Siegel's Truth album, Kanye did a beat where they sampled my dad's voice and sampled the record.
Oh, that's
and that's
crazy.
On the record. So I was there when they wrote, because back then wasn't no, you know, email, not an email for record clearances, but this was back then where they still had to send it to you like in the mail. So Pops got in, and so like that, like I lived that kind of life, and it'd be hard for me to tell people these kind of stories because it'd be seeming like unfathomable, but that was really my life. You know what I mean? So just to make it kind of short, because I could do a 2-hour episode on all the things dope, I experienced just being around that guy.
That's dope, bro, that you had that experience. Like, you know what I'm saying, Pops was a writer and for all these big artists and stuff like that. Did that make you want to like get into the music?
I shied away from music for a very, very long time, man. I was trying to be a jock, you know, in high school, play basketball, you know what I mean? Yeah. Then I wanted to be in the streets for a minute, you know what I'm saying? But it always came back to music. Like it always somehow, one way or another, I always came back to music. So
it's in the bloodline.
It's in the bloodline, you know what I mean? So as much as I tried to run away from it, I couldn't get away from it, and I'm still in it at this point.
Right. I mean? Is any of your other siblings into music as well?
Not really. I got like 1 or 2 out of the 13. It's like 3 of us. You know what I mean? That's into it, but not really. More their kids. This generation, the generation after me, and I think because of the 13, the closest to me is 8 years older than me. So I'm the baby of 12 people. So their kids are closer to my age than I am to them.
That's
get what I'm saying? So I think my influence from doing music and being in hip hop and being, you know, a promoter and all of these things in this city influenced my nieces and nephews and, you know what I mean, little cousins to really pursue it. So
now let me ask you, man, because you was into the music and stuff like that. And you was one of those big names here that was pushing that culture forward, like with the Ray Rizzies and the Bliss McFlys and Rico Loves and all that. Like in that situation, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, what got you, like, what or who inspired you to rap? Because if you said you shied away from your dad.
Yeah, I did. So when I was probably in like 4th or 5th grade, you know how like you write poetry at school and you write poems. My homeboy, shout out Tommy, man, he wrote something one day and it was kind of like a rap, you know what I'm saying? And I wrote like a rebuttal to it, but it was like more poetry. Then like me and him were mutual. I had a cousin who was like his mutual friend or whatever, my cousin Marvin, and he was the one that went and got like the DR5 machine. We was young, bro, like 10, 11. I didn't tell my dad, you know what I'm saying? When my pops found out, he took us straight to the studio. Like, man, y'all been recording?
I know he's
man, I got a real studio for you, man. What you doing? Y'all in the basement? But you know, like it was kind of like at that time, he didn't really understand hip hop, and I didn't feel like trying to, you know, make him understand it. So I'm like, we just doing our own thing. But once he found out, he got behind it. He started supporting me a lot.
That's dope.
That was probably about 3 or 4 years later. We was messing around in the basement, writing raps, freestyling. But the person who made me take it serious was Scott Knox. Scott Knox, into Rico Love, into my manager Pat. Those 3 people in succession were the ones who made me be like, oh, damn, I might could do this for real.
Yeah.
Then I started battle rapping and I would travel places. So I go to Chicago, New York, Philly, and I would battle against cats from there. And they'd be like, you from Jersey? Where you from? And I'd be like, no, I'm from Milwaukee.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The north
heard
side
that a
of
lot.
Milwaukee.
If you was an artist and you rap different, they'd be like, where you from? They never knew.
It wasn't like how it is now when you say you from the mill, they automatically know, like, oh, shit. Okay, well, back... You right, that era, Ray Nitty, Ray Rizzy, me, like it was when we would go places and we, you know, kill the room, they would never assume we were where we were from. You know what I'm saying? So we were kind of carrying that flag, like, you know, that was kind of like a chip on my shoulder with my rapping, you know what I mean? Right. So that's the person who made me take it serious was those 3 people in succession. I saw Knox with the passion. He would go to the studio every day. I used to just go to the studio with my mans, roll up weed. You know what I'm saying? He throw me the sack. I had a blunt. We roll up plenty of weed. I'm sitting there smoking, but I'm watching him though. You know what I mean? I'm a student, bro. So I study, like, so I'm watching him. I'm like, damn, okay, he writing his bars. He coming out relaxing, smoking with me, going back in, laying his shit. I'm like, damn, he got a process.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because from the fan perspective, you think niggas is just blah, 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 blah. No, it's really a science to this shit. So I'm watching my man. He doing it then. He like, so at this time, we having parties like in my basement at my crib. So I'm freestyling when Knox would rap. And he would be like, bro, that's why he would invite me to the studio. Like, bro, but he never forced it on me. So then one day I just wrote one, man. I got in there. And when we brought it back to the hood, it was like the next day I was a rapper, bro. Like it was that. Like, no, this nigga go crazy. So the pressure was on. I had to start writing more, but I wanted it because, like you said, I believe he opened up the passion that I had because the penning was already in my bloodline because that's what my dad did.
Right, everything changed from that day on.
Yeah, everything changed, literally, bro.
I remember when I was doing music, I would see y'all doing ciphers and all this stuff. I'm like, damn, they snapping. I want to get in one of those ciphers. And they just kind of like, you know what I'm saying, made me feel like I can do the same thing. Like besides like the industry rappers, it was people in my city. I'm
For
like,
sure.
I really looked up to like, okay, I fuck with them.
For sure. And we had, like I said, at that time, we had a Milwaukee. It wasn't the slogan, but we kind of had a Milwaukee verse everybody because we felt like we was the bottom of the barrel type
Most
shit. So
definitely. Still
we
is,
felt like
kinda.
we had we still do. But I got to get this generation with the help of YouTube and other things.
TikTok,
they've been
all that.
TikTok. They've been able to push us, you know, a little bit further. But we were able to make a mark with mixtapes and the, you know, Tony Neal with the Core DJ retreats and things like that. Like
Right.
we were able to you know,
Right.
reach a little bit with shit like that. And the next generation with the internet exploding, they was able to reach globally.
Right,
You know
and
what I'm
that's one thing I can say about the era you came up in. Like, it wasn't as easy as
Man,
it
listen,
is. You know
when
what I'm
I
saying?
manage artists, Rick, I tell them all the time, man, I used to have to go to Chicago, pull up my car, park it, and pop the trunk, and stand there and get ignored.
Oh, God,
Whatever,
yeah.
maybe you might get 1 or 2 people, but the first 12, it was like being a cold salesman. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
going door to door trying to sell your product. I said, now y'all can literally post something on your IG,
Send somebody a link.
and in that night we'll have 2,000-3,000 views, 2,000-3,000 people from all over the world and put their eyes.
Ain't had to go
on the link that
nowhere.
you post. Ain't had to go nowhere. We had to literally get a car, get in the rental, make sure we don't get pulled over, get to Chicago,
Yeah.
make sure we tapped in the shy so don't nothing happen to us.
Yeah.
You feel me? And then make it back home, bro.
Yep. And then, like you
you
said,
might have
those
sold 1 or
retreats.
2 CDs, bro. I had to give away half of your bag.
Yep.
That's where and so with me, I'm a product of both because as an artist, I did that. Then when it transferred over to MySpace, Reverb Nation, and all these internet platforms and the DSPs came about with Apple Music and Tidal and Spotify,
Right.
I transitioned over from selling hard copy to that. I can actually say I'm a product of both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When people be like, oh, you this old or you that old? I'm really musically old because my dad made me so
Right.
musically old. You know what I'm saying? So
Man, you definitely been through a lot of that stuff, man. Like, you know, you was in that era when it was grinding,
Man.
and stuff like that. And it also, like, I wanted to talk about this because I also noticed that you and Rico Love had a
Man, so the crazy thing about that, and I really like,
That's crazy.
if you have things in your life, like you ever had something in your life where you be like, man, if I had to do that all over again, I wouldn't have did it like that.
Right,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So, okay, it's back to Scott Knox, right? Me, him, and Reek are friends. You know what I'm saying? From back in the day, like childhood shit. We
Right.
got a big homie named Pharaoh and his brother Justin. Like we all friends, man. So when Reek was making his waves, I happened to be in Atlanta around the same time going to school at Morris Brown. But me and Reek had never linked. We never bumped into each other, nothing. You know what I'm saying? He was doing this thing with, I believe, Jagged Edge and them at this time because it was a little bit before Usher. You know what I'm saying? He ended up graduating and linking in with Usher and them and getting a deal with Usher Records and all of that eventually. But that at that time, me and him had linked up. But anyway, me and Knox had did this record called Milwaukee Bucks, right? And Knox had put out a mixtape, and you know how you send homies music, and we knew the homie had his situations going on. He had deals on the table, offers. He was making his waves. Usher was making the movie, and Rico was gonna have the lead single from the soundtrack. Settle Down. His single was gonna be the lead single from the In a Minute or whatever that Usher movie was at the time.
I know which one it was, but I can't remember the name. In the
of
mix.
it. In the mix.
In the mix.
So we was all excited about that. You know, your man's is like, you know, like I said, we used to sleep in each other's, you know what I mean, at each other's cribs, bro. Like spend a night at each other's cribs. You know, teenage boys
Yeah.
should play video games,
Yeah.
go hoop, you know, go to the mall, try to get girls, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? All of that. Like we did that, bro. So when it was time for him to start making his waves, we were all excited, but we were still doing our thing up here. We didn't expect nothing from Reek. You know what I'm saying? He was doing him and we
Right.
was just supporting him. But he heard the record and me and Knox snapped and it was a dope record. A lot of people liked the song. Reek asked to get on it. When Reek asked to get on it, at that time he was doing a gangster grill with DJ Drama through Usher. They put that song on the mixtape. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
now I got a verse on this Usher mixtape. You know what I mean?
Right.
This mixtape that's being pushed by Usher that's hosted by Drama in the height of gangster grills. This is the early
That
2000s.
was a good era right there,
So this is
man.
when Jeezy, this fresh off the Jeezy, Fabulous, them gangster grill mixtape.
Yeah,
So
you would
I'm-
have killed to have a gangster grill.
yeah, so you know, we feeling like, you know what I mean? We won. Like, okay, I'm like, good look at Reek. So time went on, like we traveled with Reek. Reek came up here a couple of times, you know what I'm saying? And we did things. The falling out happened, not to be too long with it about what happened, but the falling out happened with me and Reek is, long story short, he tried to sign me, right? So when he tried to sign me, the deal that he offered didn't look right. Right? When I took it to people and I took it to my dad, it didn't look right. When I took it back to Reek, my immaturity and not knowing the business at that time, it was a standard deal. where if you don't have anything to bring to the table but your talent, then they want to own majority of whatever you're creating.
Right.
That's what he experienced. That's just protocol how the game go. But me being young and not understanding separating personal from business, which I'm still learning now to this day, but back then it was even more raw because I was so young and hungry. You see what I'm saying? And I did not understand the business at all. So that's why I said if I had to do it all over again, it would have never been a public beef. You see what I'm saying? I would have went to him behind closed doors and hashed it out however we had to hash it out.
So was you the first one to say something
no,
on the record?
He actually said it on me because he had an event at Questions and he had Rico there. I mean, he had Usher there at Questions nightclub. And he had Ushers there. Look at this story. He had Usher there and all of us were supposed to perform and Rizzy and all of us, and none of us performed. And he was on stage like kind of gloating and saying he was the king of the city and the president and he was going to save Milwaukee and blah, 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 blah. Hey, show night, you got it. Me, I didn't feel away. My guys did. So they was outside like in the parking lot. You know how Milwaukee niggas is. Man, we'll fuck dude up. Dude ain't blah, 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 blah. So that made him, when the Connect DVD niggas seen him downtown one night, they put a camera on him and he got the woofing on me. Right? So I'm like, damn, if that's how the guys feel, who said I felt how the guys felt? They might have been mad at me because I wasn't as bad as they was. Right. You don't know. But now that you done said it on me, now I have no choice but to align with the homies. Yeah. And I was young and dumb because right now I would have talked to the homies and talked to him and got in the middle and squashed it out. But back then it was, you know what type of time that we was on. Like, that was the era. So
that was the beef era.
That was the beef era. Beef DVDs era and all that. So that's why the Connect DVD called him. He said what he said. So then they interviewed me. I said what I said. Then he dropped I did a record. I dissed him on the record. So I did send the first diss record shot. You get what I'm saying? He sent the public shot on the DVD. I sent the record. Then he replied with a record. I came back. So my first record was the impeachment because he was calling himself the president. I came back with a record called The Assassination, I believe, and then I stopped that.
Going crazy.
But Reek kept going. So Reek had a mixtape hosted by Mace. He know how much me and him loved Mace. So that kind of stung. You know, I have one of your idols on a mixtape that's shitting on you. You know what I'm saying? So it was good. We kept it peace. A couple years ago, Rick, like 5 or 6 years ago, I seen him downtown at a club like 720 or one of them type of clubs, Dick's or one of them type of clubs in that area, pause. But I seen him in there and he had like security with him. And he wanted to like have words with me, but he had security guards with him. Like, bro, I'm not about to do that with you in here. You know what I'm saying? So I seen him again though a year ago at G's Clippers. Shout out to G. I seen him again at G's because me and him had a couple of bumps. I'm leaving out some shit. The black party at Potawatomi, we bumped into each other. Like, it was getting very Ja Rule 50 with us, me and him. Like, we was bumping. We was in the same rooms because we got a lot of mutual friends, bro. You know what I'm saying? So even somebody like G's Clippers, that G, he's our mutual friend. G cuts like in the back now of his shop. He don't cut like in the out. He got like a studio in the back. So I went back there to speak to G. I didn't know Rico was going to be sitting back there, but Rico was sitting there. I stuck my hand out. He shook it. You know what I'm saying? I pounded up with G, walked out the room. Y'all fellas have a good one. You know what I mean? He said it back to me. So this was like a year ago. Right. You know what I mean?
So after that, it should be cool?
It's been peace with me for a while. I'm super proud of the dude. I think he's amazing. You get what I'm saying? I think he's one of the greatest writers of our generation.
Facts.
You know what I mean? For real, for real.
Facts.
Like up there with some of my favorites like The Dream and you know what I mean? Some of the people who pens I think is amazing. Rico is one of those. You know what I mean? So it's been like that for me. You know what I mean? I follow him on social media, the gram. I like, you know what I mean? I support his shit. But it was just for me to see him in person means more to me because I'm not an internet nigga. I don't give a fuck. We can fake it till we make it on the internet. It's when I see you in person and we breathe in the same air. You know what I'm saying? I can see where your head is at. You know what I mean? And he pounded it up with me. You know what I mean? So that was what's up with me. So.
That's something for the culture, man. That's you know, everything. Everybody got some, you know, stuff that happened back in the day. Facts. But you know, as long as you can grow from that, you know what I'm saying? Man. That's all that matters. We still living, breathing. We raising children. Yeah. He's doing a great job. You know what I mean? Feeding his family, doing his thing. He putting artists on. He's educating the artists on the music, educating writers, working with the Grammy people. You know what I mean? So I see what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Rico.
Shout out Rico, for real.
Now let me ask you, man, like after being a rapper, like what made you like, you know, get into managing?
The podcast actually did it. For a few years, a couple of people have been telling me like, dog, you should be a manager. Shout out to my man Track Sanders, man. He was one of the first people to kind of put it in my head because he said when he would travel and go places, it was always a nigga like me in the room who had connections to everybody that didn't really write music or nothing, but he knew everybody that was important in the room, or he was a resource to everybody in the room. So he would just be like, man, I go to New York to these writer camps or LA to these writer camps, and there'd be people in there, man, they remind me of you, man. You ever thought about management? And I'm just like, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never, but that, so then the advocating for artists, and then the fact that people were pushing me into it, and then the podcast led me to study contracts. Yeah. Because, you know, we would discuss topics. So when Lil Wayne was fighting for his money from Cash Money, I studied it. Instead of just reading what I saw on blogs, I actually went and read the affidavit in his you know what I mean, his suit, like, and bust it down to read the legal jargon to think like an entertainment lawyer. So if you come on my podcast, I'm giving you entertainment lawyer game, and I used to be an artist.
It's pretty much a manager.
You see what I'm saying? It's pretty much a manager when you put 1 + 1 = 2. So that's kind of how that happened. And then the opportunity came from MyaaP. Her family, her mother was the first person to approach me. Yeah. But at that time, I had people already kind of asking me to do it, but she had a situation. She was signed to a distribution company already. You know what I'm saying? And the family was coming to me to kind of help them with the situation that she had going on and make it bigger. Right. You know what I mean? So that's how I made it official. And then since then, I've taken on other artists and other clients. But I've always, because even to people like Chicken, Looney Baby, I've always been the big homie where people can come ask me shit about music, like, and I'm gonna give you the real, even if I don't have anything to gain from you. Even in the podcast game, niggas can tell you that. I told niggas what cameras to go get, what mic, what the podcaster, you know what I mean, to go get broadcasters and
that's what
all
of
that.
About.
Like, what kind of lights, and because I don't withhold information, what that's gonna do for me.
Exactly.
What the fuck I look like gatekeeping and shit for, you know what I'm saying? And I don't really want nothing from it. If you want to give me something, that's cool, like the blessing of your heart. But I'd rather just if I think what you doing is dope, I'll just volunteer you the information because I want to see it grow.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And then by me helping you, you helping me. Like, you can come back and help me.
Exactly.
So, and it's just like it's for a bigger purpose. It's for the city, bro.
Facts. And like you said, I come from the underground where we was advocating so long for the town. You know what I'm saying? So if I can get an opportunity to sit on the other side of the table, that's what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean?
Facts. So. Now, since your your journey through music, you was an artist, and then you're a manager now. You've been managing like MyaaP and Yonaa and other artists. It was a situation, the meat and potatoes. Let's get to it.
Yeah, man. The elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room, where it was a supposed like an accusation of MyaaP and Yonaa accusing you of stealing money and stuff like that. Let's talk about that. Like, what happened?
So, the meat and potatoes of the situation is, I was managing MyaaP for, I would say, probably about a year and a half. In that year and a half, I was fired at least 3 times. Yeah. Right. So let's just start there. The part about the money or whatever was a show that was booked in New York. Right. And when it's festivals, they don't send front ends. You get everything on the back end. And it might come a month after the show. It might take 2 months. Sometimes it takes a while to come. I really felt like that was a cop-out, because that's not really what happened. Right. I was in Atlanta with her, and we had some misunderstandings before I left, and it was pretty much mutual that it was a dub. But, Maya's a young lady, you know what I'm saying? I felt like I got wrapped up in the rebellion against the parents, because I was hired by the parents. Right. So if you're mad at the parents, you're going to take it out on me. The thing that I take from it, though, and why I can walk around with my head high and feel great, first of all, I say I never stole anything. Second of all, I'm not a scammer. Third of all, that young lady in particular, I made her over $500,000 in cash. Whoa. Her deals was over 1 point some odd million, but in cash, that's what I got Maya on her second deal. When I first got her, she was already signed, so she had took an advance from the label. But when I re-rolled her, I did the deal for the re-roll. You understand what I'm saying? So at this time, I'm in litigation with MyaaP because I didn't get fully compensated. So while people are running around the internet saying I took something from them, I didn't even get my full amount off of what you got signed for. Because for people to educate people how this work, a manager gets a percentage of what a label advances you. You understand what I'm saying? So the label don't pay me. You pay me because I work for you. I don't work for the label. Right. I just cuss these people out for 3 months to get this money. You know what I mean? Every morning arguing with them, with my entertainment lawyer, calling the lawyer. Also, I felt like if Maya or Yonaa felt like I took anything from them, they could have called our attorney. An attorney did their deals through me. You understand what I'm saying? So we had representation. I had things in place in case these type of things happen. The internet thing was a clout chase, literally. And that's why I was really upset at a lot of adults, the way they reacted, because you got to understand this is a child. But I guess when you see hate likes to herd hate. It likes to hate monger. It likes to, join in, because these same people who was doing a lot of that shit on the internet, Rick, I've been outside and I see these people and the energy ain't the same.
Right.
But I pay attention to everything. I don't miss nothing, but I just don't find any pleasure in fighting those battles with every person that I see out, because clearly that ain't what you own, because that must have been some internet shit, because when I see you in person, the energy is totally different. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this, not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
It was I don't think this was said before Maya, it was somebody else. I don't know who it was.
That I managed?
Yeah, I don't know if it was like somebody, you know how people was getting on there saying, oh, he did it to me too.
Oh, yeah. People were saying that type of shit.
So you think it's just the fact that some people don't know the business?
No, so then that's the part that I was about to get to. That's why I was trying to explain, anything that you bring in, you have to pay your staff, meaning your lawyer, your hairdresser, if you're a female rapper, your hairdresser, your stylist, your manager, your road manager, whatever role people are playing and doing services for you, you have to pay those people. You know what I mean? And for my clients, I went and got budgets for that shit, so you wouldn't even have to come out of your pocket.
Right.
I fought with label to get extra money so you could take care of those type of things, so you can make sure I was compensated and your staff was compensated for the work that we do, because that's really what it is. People don't understand this business. People hear manager and they think I'm the record label owner. You're not signed to me. You're signed to me under a manager. I don't own the rights to your music. I don't even collect the advances when they come in from the label. They come to you and I trust you to give me what I'm supposed to get. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So when people tried to paint this picture of me like I was doing something, that people were out here villainizing people, you know what I'm saying? Like, none of that shit was true. You know what I mean? It wasn't factual. It was literally my cut or my fee. You see what I'm saying? And then it was also refundable. A lot of them people who were saying that shit got their money back. So I felt like motherfuckers just wanted to be involved in something because it was trending on the internet at that time.
That's usually how it goes. Like, people like the drama, whether it's true or false.
True or false.
Like, I don't know, but I just know how people is with negative energy and stuff like that, and bad news and stuff like that.
And they run with narratives. So, like, to even bring it full circle, like, I know you've seen, because I talked to you a couple of weeks ago about it, I'm back working with Yonaa.
Yeah.
Right? So the thing with Yonaa was a miscommunication, misunderstanding. It wasn't nothing vindictive or vile that she was trying to do. And we still had a deal that me and her had to see through with Alamo Records. You understand what I'm saying? Because she signed.
Right.
We didn't do no big announcement, no big party or nothing. But she signed, though. And when you handling professional business, them people don't want to talk to 8-9 different people. They want to talk to the person that pretty much brought you through the door. You might can replace them with one person, but you can't be going to get 6, 7, 8 different people to speak for you when we talking business with labels and shit like that. So that's really what it comes down to. People don't really understand that you have to pay your team. You don't know how many artists I meet who think this shit is just like for the free ski.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Let me ask you, man, what was she talking with Yonaa, man? I don't, a lot, it was trying to expose a lot of things. She was like, you try to talk to her.
Yeah, so that was some trolling.
Okay.
Yeah, that was some trolling.
So pretty much like, that's what I thought it was. I didn't know. I'm not saying it.
No,
what it is,
bro,
but I'm like everybody else. I'm just watching. People want to know, but I know usually when people mad at each other, they gonna troll each other. So that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
Let me ask you: are you still working with MyaaP?
No, I'm not.
Just Yonaa.
No, I'm not. Just Yonaa. And to even say this, I wish Maya the best, bro, because the most heartbreaking shit about this shit is we had a hell of a run, bro, for about 13 months.
Yeah.
That shit was on fire, boss. And I got to see shit that I probably wouldn't have never seen with nobody else. So I can never take that from her. No matter how I feel personally, I can always look back on all the shit that I learned, all the connections I made, even the money that I made, even though I'm still owed some money, but even the money that I was able to make. And the accomplishments that we made. Right. You know what I'm saying? I came into the situation with them and I told them I was going to make the money. I worked for 8-9 months for free. For free. On record. 8-9 months for free. Also, when I booked Maya's show. If she got paid, Rick, I didn't take a manager's cut. A manager get 10-20% of any booking you do. Right. I didn't. I gave her a full amount. 17-year-old kid, bro. I wasn't on that type of timing, bro. I'm trying to learn this game. And I told the family I didn't want no money until I got her the big deal. So then, you see what I'm saying? That's when I started collecting.
So let me ask you, like, when has she been compensating you, like giving you your fair cut?
In originally, It did once it started. Like, so, bro, I'm so good at this shit. When I first got her, let me see her contract. They gave me her contract. I looked at her contract. In her contract, she had a clause that if she recorded over 40 songs by a certain amount of time, she could get a free $100,000 that was non-recoupable. For people who don't know what recoupable is, that means you owe the label money. So if they advance you $1 million and it's recoupable, you owe them $1 million whenever it's said and done. Yeah. But if it's non-recoupable, that's all your pape. So when I did that for her, she gave me my percentage of that. You get what I'm saying? My cut. I got my cut out of that. We went on tour. Like I told you, so when we were on tour, I got fired while we were on tour. But I still went and got the big deal done with Roc Nation for her. You get what I'm saying? I still saw the deal through because that's what you do, regardless. That's what my lawyer advised me, and that's what Chad Roper and some other OGs in the management game told me. You see the deal all the way through. You started something, you finish it. You get what I'm saying? So then after that, when she came back off tour, because I started the tour with her, but I didn't finish it. When she came back off tour, she came to me, we sat down, we hashed it out. You know what I mean? But I even told her then, like, this is the last time I'm doing this firing back and forth shit. You know what I mean? Like, so she took the deal. This is like May. We barely made it through the summer, bruh. You see what I'm saying? But we went on tour with V's, like, in February. Like, it was just big things that we did, bro, that we accomplished, and I don't want to poo-poo on none of that. Let that one, you know what I mean, wrinkle ruin everything. Even if we never talk again or never work again, I want to walk away with that knowing that I did my job to the 10s, bro. Like to the 9s, actually. She owns her masters, all of that. I got all that done in the deal, bro. I wasn't playing. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Like, so.
Let me see, because I know you was hurt behind that stuff, bro. And like I said, people was just attacking you, like, you took your page down. Like, what was those months like for you?
It was tough. It was tough. To be honest with you, I was getting tired of Facebook leading up to that anyway. And it was kind of mind-blowing to me because I'm like, damn, I've been on here posting what I was doing, and I was trying to vlog pretty much to people to show people that, damn, a nigga you was just with at Mr. B's is now in Roc Nation offices, is now in LA doing this, is now on tour with V's, he's doing this, he talking to Travis Scott, road manager, and he's doing all of these things. And this is a nigga that you was just at Mr. B's with last week. You know, Harvey, you smoked a blunt with me before. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not somebody that that it's too far for you to fathom that you could be doing this soon. You see what I'm saying? So it was just fucked up for me to have all these accomplishments with that young lady and get 12 likes, 20 likes. But then soon as the minute somebody said negative something about me, this shit went viral.
Went crazy.
This girl was going viral on TikTok, had celebrities posting her song and shit. I wasn't getting no retweets and reshares like that.
And this is all because of that situation?
And all because of that situation.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. Man, I can just imagine, bro, like just having all that attention, that negative attention, and what could do to your brain, your mind, bro, as a person, because we all still human. And did that ever make you like, I want to just, I'm done with management?
So at one point in time I was, because believe it or not, you would think with that people wouldn't have been in my DM, and I still had artists in my DM every day. I still do to this day. It's people constantly, not just artists, talent period, are always asking me, you still in the management? You still fucking with the management? I seen that shit. I don't give a fuck about that shit on the internet, bro. You still doing this shit, bro? Your resources, your brain, bro. I need that, bro. How much it cost? Blah, blah, blah. You get what I'm saying? So that's the thing that kept me going, because it was moments where I was like, man, fuck this shit. I'll never work with nobody ever again. Right. You know what I'm saying? Man. But then I was thinking, like, I'm cheating people who could use these resources. I could still be resourceful to people. And I had artists, prominent artists in the city, reach out to me and say, like, nah, bro, don't stop, bro. Don't give up. Don't let that make you quit. I might need you. I'm gonna circle back when I'm ready, bro, and holla at you. You know, some artists from here with real situations going on. Even Tony Neal, shout out Tony Neal, reached out to me. I'm talking to them about, a job over at Convict with him and Akon. So opportunities came, blessings came out of this. So that's what kept me pushing.
And it usually do, not to cut you off, when it's bad news or it's confrontation and stuff like that, it's usually a silver lining out of that, or some down the line that's going to really be good. And I feel like sometimes it could be a test from God or something, or
like even what I'm gonna say, it was weird to me because the whole time I was managing them, I used to have to keep them from scratching each other's eyes out. And then like the minute one went against me, they teamed up and went on Bro Podcast and talked about me together, and I couldn't even get y'all together to do shit for real. I had deals on the table from QC and all kind of labels calling me about both of y'all, and I couldn't get y'all to come together on that. But the minute it was time to come together and say F Harvey, now we can come together and do that. But like I said, in a full circle moment, I'm happy because I felt bad for even like Yonaa, because she came in a situation late. and she got drug in some shit that was kind of already being messy.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And I just felt bad, so that's why I was happy I was able to make a full circle moment with her, fix shit with her, and the future looks bright. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing I can take away from it.
So hopefully, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, with the situation with Yonaa, y'all can go far and then stuff like that. And hopefully things are good with you on MyaaP. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we all gonna go through stuff and like, you know what I'm saying? It's life.
It's life, bro. It's life.
All about growth through that.
It's life. And like I said, you know, I wish her the best. You know, when I saw what happened to her and all that type of shit, you know what I mean? That I'm not with that.
I'm glad you brought that up. Let me ask you this, like, what do you think about that situation? Do you feel like if you were still manager, that probably never happened?
Absolutely. And do you know how many DMs I got from people all over America saying that? Because like I told you, me and Maya went all over this country in 12 months, bro. Listen, Rick, I'm talking about New York to LA and everything in between, bro. Knoxville, Tennessee, random spots, bro. Columbus. We was in Ohio almost every other week. You know what I mean? So people were hitting me from everywhere like, man, that wouldn't have happened if Harvey was there, this, and that. And I honestly feel that way because I took Maya all over this country, and shout out to Art. He did security with us for a couple of shows on the road from Ape Security Day from the city, him and Ken. But majority of the time, it was just me. And I ain't no blicky or nothing, bro. I ain't on that type of timing. But I respect. You see what I'm saying? I've been moving around this country without being a manager, as a rapper and just a regular dude. I done been outside. I done been in some shiesty places, and I know how to move accordingly. Even if I got that shit on, I still know how to move accordingly. You know what I mean? So she young. You know what I mean? That's something I think she got from me. And being young, you take that for granted sometimes. And when that's removed, you look sweet to people. You know what I mean? Like, do robbing females? I don't advocate for that. I think that's some sucker shit. But at the same time, you know, it kind of comes with the generation that she's in. The YNs, that's the timing that they own. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of her era. That's her, you know what I mean? That's her audience and her people. So, you know, like I said, even with what's going on with us, I don't like to see shit like that. You know what I mean? So that was it. And like I said, I wish her the best because she got a lot of fans. You know what I mean? A lot of people fuck with her. You know what I mean? And even though it didn't work out with us, it's just like relationships and shit. I'm not that kind of nigga. Like, I wish you the best. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
and that's respect, man. I got 2 more questions for you, man. What is it like? Because I don't know how many artists do you manage?
Shit, I got a lot of them.
How now since you have a lot of artists, excuse me, how do you manage all those artists?
So that was one of them things that I will say from before was one of my biggest mistakes, was taking on people and not communicating. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be thorough with your communication. Right. A lot of people don't know I have a background in education. I was a school teacher for a while and worked in schools. That's also where I met Maya's mom's sister and how I got referred for the job also. But I worked in schools, so when you work in schools, you might have a classroom with 40 kids in there. You know what I'm saying? And you got to give every one of them your attention. But you do that through communication. You got to be crystal clear with your communication. So I think you can manage a lot of artists, because the thing about me with that, like, a lot of people used to ask me, like, why you want to take on other clients? A OG told me back in the day, it's better to have 10% of 10 things than 100% of one thing. Because when that one thing fall apart, you don't have nothing to fall back on. So that's why I always wanted a piece of, you know what I mean, of things. So that's why I wanted to take on other clients and just to diversify things. Like, Maya was at Rock Nation. I had Yonaa at Alamo. Those are 2 power players in hip hop. And I was working out of both pots. You feel me? So that's what I wanted. That's why I take on other clients and other talent, so I can do that. You know what I mean? Diversify my portfolio, I guess, as you would say.
Right.
You
that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. You know, and it's been working for you. Like I said, that just been unfortunate. But if it works for you and you know how to manage them and juggle them, that, hey, so be it. There you go.
Facts.
Good. Now, my final question for you is, man, what's next for Scalez?
Man, hopefully a job at a label. You know what I mean? That's one of the things that I'm shooting for, and starting my own. I don't know if it's going to be management company or label or all in one. Shout out to Super Dope Q, and shout out to my homegirl Nene. We starting this thing called the Cheat Code Agency. Nene is a publicist, and I'm going to handle a lot of the management, and Q going to handle a lot of the styling. So our artists can come to us and we be one-stop shop for artists. So that's something that we're starting. We actually got it started. Logo, it's got an Instagram page, but we starting to take on clients right now. So that's the future for me. I want to build out a company, hire people, you know what I'm saying, in that, and just keep educating artists on this game, like, if you ever see me out and you want to approach me and you got a question, bro, that shit don't cost no money, my nigga. Just find the time for me to talk to you. That might be the only thing that might make you have a little toot, is I might not have time to holler at you in that moment. But circle back on me, or if you catch me somewhere out and I look like I'm chilling, don't be afraid to ask me questions, bro. Shout out to niggas like Chicken and Big Steph, and it's a lot of artists, bro. I can name at least 50, 60 in the city almost that done came to me and asked me questions, boss. And if they applied what I applied to them, or if they looked at it to play the devil's advocate with the info I gave them, use it, because it's information at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's what we have sources for, and that's what it is about. Working together as a culture and a unity, bro. Like, your sources, y'all can use your sources, you can use my sources.
Facts.
And at the end of the day, it's for a bigger cause, putting each other on and putting the city on, and making Milwaukee one of those places where they can come to and look for talent. And you know, so that's dope, man. Shout out to you, bro.
Man, appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Shout out to you, what you're doing, bro. Continue to do what you're doing. Keep your head up. Keep going, bro. The city needs people like you and stuff like that, and genuine people. Like I said, don't let one situation mess you up your whole career.
I'm not. People make mistakes, man. Ain't nobody perfect. You know what I'm saying? And things happen for a reason. You feel me? So I'm still here. I'm still breathing. We still going. I still got my connections. And like I said, I'm here to be a resource to the city, bro. I ain't here to take nothing from nobody or deter nobody. Or this was a dream for me as an artist at one point in time, and I know how it is to be an artist. And then life be lifing. You might have kids, and you know what I'm saying? You might have shit going on, domestic and whatever. You know what I mean? So I know I take all of that into consideration when I take artists on or clients, or I work with people. I try to put life first over the business. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And sometimes it done came back to bite me, but majority of the times it done built stronger relationships and stronger trust. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. So, and before we get out here too, man, shout out to your podcast. Let them know what your podcast is and where to find your podcast.
Man, my podcast, I took a break, man, to do the management thing, but I'm bringing it back next month. I believe I'm going to try to kick it off the 1st of March, but it's Slick Talk with Scales podcast. On YouTube, it's Slick Talk with Scales TV. Tap in with me, man. I'm about to be back and, you know, doing interviews, and I feel like I got a lot more information to give before I stop doing it. And if I don't do nothing else but give information on that joint, that's what it'll be about. So be checking me out in a couple of weeks. Be looking for me.
And y'all make sure y'all tap in, man. Let them know where they can find you at, Scales.
Man, on IG, it is JR Scalez HBK. That is JR Scalez HBK. On Twitter, it's JR Scalez. And that's really it for me for the social medias right now. You know what I'm saying?
That's right, man. And you already know where to find me at, man. Rick Taylor Entertainment and Rap Drap Official. Artists who want to come up here and you want to tell your story and rap, just
Tap
DM me.
in.
Artists who want to get up with the Scales, you want some management or want some advice, y'all make sure y'all hit them up, man. And like I said, I'm thankful for everybody watching. I'm thankful for you coming, bro.
Man, bro, I appreciate you having me, and I appreciate you giving me a platform to talk about this and not be messy about it, or you know what I'm saying, use it as a teachable moment. So I appreciate you, man.
No doubt, bro. That's what I'm here for, bro. I'm trying to give everybody a platform.
I'm an old nigga and I'm learning every day, y'all.
Yep.
To my young boys and girls out there, man, I'm learning every day. Me, old college educated dude, seasoned out here, I'm learning new shit every day.
Every day. You ain't too old. You ain't too old or too young to learn every day. You know what I'm saying? But
Real talk.
Y'all know what it is, man. Rick Taylor, Rap Drab, JR Scalez. We out.
Peace.